Hi there, my name is Dani. I'm a 37-year-old woman living in the Argentinian Patagonia with no children or partner, just my lovely almost 14-year-old cat and I living in a small cabin surrounded by forests, rivers, mountains, and good neighbors. While I do some of my daily chores in this almost wintry morning, I'd like to tell you the story of how I ended up living in this small Patagonian town. So, making the decision of leaving the city where I was born and raised my entire life wasn't a night to morning thing. It looked more like planting a seed that had to wait for the right weather conditions to sprout and grow until it became a beautiful and lively tree that was ready to give their first fruits. It was far away from being an impulsive decision. It was more the sum of experiences that led to transform my way of thinking and how I view the world, my world. I had a pretty comfortable life in the city. I had my own apartment in a good and a safe neighborhood that was well connected to other parts of the city, plus having all the convenience stores available in a 500-meter radius. I was never poor nor rich. There was always just enough to have periods of time in which some months I would have enough to cover my bills, while others a bit more to treat myself with clothing, having a bite outside, and at my best, having enough budget to travel. I had my friends from school, from work, from life. I almost had everything, but still, I would often feel empty and lonely. I shared a little bit about this in my previous video. These feelings have always been present in my life to some degree. I worked as a designer in a quite renowned tech company for almost 4 years before jumping to the next chapter of my life. A chapter that would make me feel like I'm starting my life from scratch. Traveling has been always on my mind. I can remember when was the first time I felt curious about other cultures, other places, languages, and foods. When I was in my early 20s, I remember I had 3 trips organized to different degrees, and for some reason or another, they all had to be cancelled. There was always something. But then, later in life, when I reached 25 years old, worked at this company and life felt more economically stable, I finally had the chance to travel abroad to New York and enjoy a 14-day vacation. When I returned to Buenos Aires, something changed in me because now I felt like I can do this and on my own. I don't have to wait for anybody to be available, which was something that was beginning to happen more frequently since everyone I knew were accommodating their lives into adulthood. In the following year, in 2016, I would travel again to the US, and this time to visit a friend from work. The feeling of self-reliance in planning and traveling alone, and the feeling of curiosity would grow even more. The year of 2016 would be the point of no return. Simultaneously, I started to feel more and more disconnected from my friend's lifestyle, which, to be honest, it was then my lifestyle too, and disconnected from the things we wanted in life and even the qualities I would search for in my bonds. So, my life script was going into a different direction as my friends. I mention my friends as a very central aspect of my life for 2 reasons. First, as a woman who hasn't had stable friends in childhood, Having friendships that lasted in time and with whom we could share the little and big moments of our lives felt like having it all. Second, friends were like family to me. I wanted them to be. I was raised by a single mom, and I wasn't still thinking of having a partner. So the only thing I cared about is to have friends. My world was crumbling. My friendships were falling apart. At the same time, I was feeling more and more demotivated at my job. I was craving to leave everything behind and experience novelty in my life. In December of 2016, after months of having a persistent lack of motivation, my employer finally let me go. I was a little bit scared, but the sense of relief was huge. Getting fired gave me the opportunity to travel. It was like opening a tunnel to paradise. Almost 3 months later, I had my first trip organized to Europe with a no return ticket. This trip would finally cost me my friendships who didn't fully support me at the end. So there I was, no job, no more best friends, but still excited for this new adventure to come. Even though it ended up being only a 7 month trip, it was one of the most transformative experiences of my life. It was everything I wanted, a dream come true. I had the chance to get to know so many different people, not only natives, but also travelers from around the world. I got the chance to try their foods and survive and live while speaking another language, English. That was a first. But mostly, I got the chance to stay with different families who lived very far away from cities. Families that lived either isolated in the mountains, in the countryside, or even in a village so small that you could see, not far away, the horizon full of farms and landscape. I was truly blown away. Now I've learned how people live outside the cities, and I started to think I would also see myself living like this. I was in Buenos Aires again, depressed and not knowing what to do with my life except keep traveling. So, in the following year, in 2018, it was Colombia's turn. I spent almost 3 months traveling to different regions, both cities and villages surrounded by wilderness. The experience was completely different, but still an experience of growth. By 2019, I had an experience with someone that triggered very dark thoughts in me. So I thought it was time to travel again, this time fully encouraged by my mom and a friend. Scotland and I met one more time. Sorry, I didn't mention that. In my first trip to Europe in 2017, I fell in love with Scotland, and part of the 7 month trip, almost 4 months, were destined to stay in Scotland's countryside. It was really, truly amazing. So there I was again, now fully working and living in the beloved rural side of Scotland. Can you see where this is all going? I stayed half a year until January of 2020. I worked all I could and saved money for whatever the future holds. And lucky me, because there I was in Buenos Aires once again without knowing what was about to come. 2 months later, the Argentinian government was announcing a full lockdown due to the pandemic. This was the last straw for me. I finally got fed up with the city, the people, the noise, and the collective madness. To be honest, the only thing I enjoyed about the pandemic was going out to the streets and not having anyone around me. Of course, that didn't last too long. This was a very special year because even though I was feeling depressed and lonelier than ever, it was also the time in which not only I started to fully work in my small business that I had been putting a lot of energy for the last 2 years, but also because since I said no more, I began to plan where to go next and leave the city, hopefully forever. So there I was, sad, but also trying to channel all these negative feelings through creativity. Creating helped me to create even more. Could I create a new and exciting life for me? While still feeling trapped and anxious, I began searching for places in Argentina that resembled what I had in mind. Lots of green, beautiful sources of water nearby, mountains and forests, places where I could go hiking and camping. A list of locations have emerged, but I would have to hold on several months until at long last I had a call with someone who was looking for somebody for house sitting. We chatted, and a few weeks later, with my backpack, I was there, here, looking after her house and her animals. This was a first glance to the town. As I said before, I'm not impulsive, so this was a test trip. I don't take huge risks. I go for baby steps, little by little. I ask myself, how do I feel? Do I like this? Do you see yourself living here? 6 months have passed. It's September of 2021, and I've decided this is the place. It has everything I'm looking for to run my small business and my life. So I went back to Buenos Aires again to organize everything, pack my stuff, stay for the holidays with my mom, and at last, the 5th of January of 2022, I officially put my foot for the first time as a new resident in Patagonia. 4 years and a half went by, and many stories are yet to be told. So if you ask me if I'm happy here and if it was and is everything I was looking for, I must say the answer is way more nuanced than that. But right now, I do know I'm deeply grateful for even having the opportunity in this lifetime to open up my eyes, draw the curtains, and see trees and birds, and snow on the mountain tops, and be one with the cycles of seasons. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Like, comment, and subscribe if you'd like to see more.